Hello, everybody. And we've made it. Hello, everybody. I see that, oh man, there's a whole bunch of people already in the chat. We're already getting started. I see 10-22-X1, which is the secret formula for something. Fujioka, yeah, Argos Panoptes. A solid regular. Some random geek, another solid regular. Comrade Archer, an also somewhat regular. Who else we got in here? Sinister Sweet. Michael Kirshner, always a pleasure. Yeah. Welcome to Step Back Tonight. This is the, I hope to do, weekly live stream that I do on Tuesday nights where I hang out with y'all. We talk about stuff, and usually there's some sort of activity. And tonight's activity is I'm finally going to get back to the Zoomer favorite, Undertale. Woo! Bob Slayer called me Trevor. Well, you got the first two letters right. It's close enough for me. God. Who else is in here? Luke Lee, Sirloin of Eyes. Oh, we got our first questions of the night. Okay. Hope everyone's doing great. I agree, Comrade Archer. So, let's see. I guess that's a question about Shakespeare, so that's one we should probably answer. Alrighty. I got yours too. I'm good. I got it. I got it. I got the Shakespeare question. Don't worry. So, give you guys a bit of an update onto how things are going. Yeah, so it has been quite a fortnight with a GH. Because I know that the Undertale brings out the Zoomer kids, so I imagine that they don't know that there is such thing as a fortnight with with a G and an H, which you know, is the whole thing. Let's see. Last week I was supposed to do the stream, but then I had to cancel a few days before because we found out that there was a museum talk of. There was my wife is a member of the local museum, the Royal Ontario Museum, and Anita Sarkeesian came to speak at the thing, and we had she did a little show. It was pretty fun. Did a book signing, hung out with some folks. Yeah. So it was pretty good night, but unfortunately it was on a Tuesday night, so I had to miss out on you guys, but you know, I know that chicken be damned. You guys will forgive me for my occasional dalliances out to see other people. You know, you guys know deep down that it's all for the cause. Oh man, okay. Didn't know that you hate gamers. Yup, there we go. Gamers, the most oppressed minority. Also, what other kind of stuff went down? Look, okay, Fujioka, I opened up Undertale so that I wouldn't get distracted. So it's there. It's there, don't worry. Friends. Daylight savings happened, which, you know, messed me up quite a bit. But that does mean that the stream starts when there's actually some sunlight, which is nice. It'll probably get a little bit darker. And what else should I talk about with you guys? The music from Undertale is very distracting to me. just gonna mute my... you guys should... Oh, you guys can't hear it either, can you? Now that it's gone. Oh. I can't tell what you guys are hearing. Yeah. All right. So things. So here's basically the last couple weeks. I have been working on a whole lot of step back videos. You guys have probably already seen a couple of them. So if you guys haven't, I made my Paris Commune video, which I heard loud and clear you guys really, really liked. That one was really fun. And I also released for International Women's Day a video on the history of the birth control pill, and that one was less liked by the audience. But you know what? I was more proud of making it because I think that it was a cool thing that we did not. Was one thing I feel like we should have paid more attention to. So I made that video. It didn't do super great, but that's okay. I'm proud it exists, and it will always exist, and it'll always get its due. Both of which got demonetized before they even got released. Just as a heads up for those who know that the only reason that I can keep making videos about subjects that are not banal and boring. I imagine if I had made a war video, it wouldn't have been demonetized, but here we are. Video about birth control. That's demonetizable. Video about mass murder. That's perfectly good. Ads, #1. So that happened, but I do have another step back video. I will tell you that a new step back video is coming out on Friday. It's going to be part of the religion series. It's going to be fun. And then I have one more about a week later than that. That's going to be coming out on the 24th. Both of these are also collaborations. The one that comes out on Friday is a collaboration with Religion for Breakfast. And then I have a second video coming out on the 24th, which is a collaboration with the YouTube channel Cogito. And we're going to talk about some fun stuff. I'm doing a video about the American Constitution and the concept that the Haudenosaunee or the Iroquois Confederacy played a role in its in the American Constitution's creation. I also got new glasses. Hey, it's that jaywalking punk anarchist is in the channel. What's up? What's up? Did you hear about Cuba having a referendum on a new constitution and it passed? All right. Y'all have so many questions about the world it was in. I was trying to bond, be a little bit more, be a bit more chill. But I gotta do my job. I gotta do my job, which is answer questions that I'm probably not qualified to answer, and then play a video game. So that's where I'm at. Let's start with Margos Panoptes, who started with a pretty easy question: do you like Shakespeare? So I used to not like Shakespeare. I thought that people who liked Shakespeare, I thought it was kind of like a, what's it called? I used to think that it was sort of presumptuous. It was sort of people who wanted to appear smarter than they were. But honestly, as one of the things that I read, I really kind of appreciated is the Middle English really does get to me. I'm sure as it does to many a youth who read it. But then I was reading a book called Hamlet's Hit Points, which is written by Robin Laws, and all I gotta say is, it's specifically about dungeon mastering. So if that's not a thing that you're into, don't worry about it. But it's basically about pacing and about story structure, and even though it's about the whole, man, my brain is dying on me already. Even though it's about dungeon mastering, it's actually a breakdown of a couple movies and Hamlet, scene by scene, beat by beat, in order to show you how different types of scenes interlock and how you can integrate ideas of storytelling to create a narrative path through a story. And one of them was, as the title of the book implies, it is a beat by beat breakdown of Hamlet. And I had read Hamlet in the 9th grade, and I recalled not understanding it and being kind of bored, but then I had seen it, after I read this thing, I actually got it a lot better, and I thought it was interesting. I do think that there's an interesting cultural heritage part of it, and there's a lot of interesting discussions that come out of Hamlet. I do think that Hamlet is, of the tragedies, one of my least favorites. I'm actually quite a big fan of Macbeth. I think that's actually a much better written play about the dangers of using murder to, further your own aims. But, all of them are very interesting. They're very well written, and they're very much products of their time. So, Shakespeare, for example, Romeo and Juliet, one of the classics, which is sort of sold as this love tale, is actually more of a story about the folly of marrying for love and how love is kind of, if you think about it from the perspective of a 16th century playwright, or 16th century perspective, that love and marriage were not really things that are actually like the same in this period. And if anything, Romeo and Juliet is a play about how marrying for love is kind of childish and foolish, and that's what that's basically what the thesis of Romeo and Juliet is. But it's interesting because it's been reinterpreted over time, and that stuff. But Macbeth, I remembered that there was a movie that I made. One of my first videos. I think this was actually before YouTube had even started. I made we filmed a scene from Macbeth for an English project, and I got to play Macbeth, and it was in a really shitty sword fight, and it was funny because I think it was Macbeth's death scene. So, spoiler alert for a almost 5-century-old play. But either way, I think that Shakespeare is one of those things that is worth reading. It's worth watching. I do think that it is a difficult play to teach to children, and that is often when we get it. And I think that there are a lot of great plays. When will this stream get saved for the channel? They always get saved shortly after they are done. They always go unlisted, so if you want to watch any of the previous streams, you just have to go to the tab of playlists, and I have all streams playlists, and I usually add them soon after the video comes out, or at least within a week. But yeah, I do think that there's some great stuff about Shakespeare that you really won't get unless you're a bit older, and I feel like we foist Shakespeare on people too young, and if there's one way to make young people hate something, it is to force them to read it, and I feel like that's it sets itself up for failure. All right, let's look at this question. Do you like Shakespeare? Okay, so that was when we did that one. When neoliberalism was rising, why didn't anyone say, hey, I checked the history books and unfettered capitalism is the way people turn to fascism, so maybe we shouldn't do this? Yes. They were called communists because they were. The Soviet Union very much had that thesis about capitalism, and that's one of the things that they argued, and Americans just didn't buy it. You hated Harry Potter? Wait, Sinister Sweet, you were forced to read Harry Potter? That's an odd one to me. When I was a kid, when I was in high school, the Harry Potter books were still coming out. It was still a series in progress, so it really wasn't treated as literature. It was the thing that kids were reading over their summer vacation type stuff. So there you go. Citizen Foffy, is it bad that I support PewDiePie as a leftist? I mean, T-Series is a corporation. I think that there are two things to say about that. One, it's a dumb dichotomy. Both I don't give a crap about T-Series, but I also know that PewDiePie is a fascist who regularly says racial slurs, like, or makes jokes about the Holocaust or all sorts of horrible things. And he has manipulated young people into setting up a false dichotomy in order to give himself more subscribers and more attention. And young people are falling for it, like, really easily. I'm surprised that no one's seeing this, like, naked attempt at self-promotion with this whole subscribe to PewDiePie thing and not realizing that it's terrible. And also, he's, you know, he's also got Nazi tendencies, which, you know, doesn't help things. On top of that, yeah, I was subscribed to T-Series for a little bit just to see what it was about. It was a bit much for me, honestly, but, I mean, Indian music's perfectly fine, and honestly, and also, if you think PewDiePie is an individual and not a corporation, then he has definitely played the trick on you, because PewDiePie is a corporation. He definitely has people working for him, and on top of that, he started an entire social media campaign to get people to the point where they were even hacking computers in order to get more subscribers for the most subscribed YouTube channel. Like, it's just like, man, hats off for how well he tricked people. Honestly, if I were to give you full advice, do what I do and not be subscribed to either of them. Or subscribe to T-Series, or just I don't know. Just PewDiePie's not good. Just get out. Get out of PewDiePie. Get away from PewDiePie. All right. You had to read a Harry Potter for accelerated reader points because I was reading way ahead in the second grade. Well, when I was in the second grade, Harry Potter was just a figment within J.K. Rowling's imagination. So, hats off to you for that. When I was, because Harry Potter, like, made, like, books that were written for young people as an audience, the whole YA fiction thing. No one really remembers this, but YA fiction, before the Harry Potter series started to become a thing, was actually pretty bad, and kids really didn't have that much to read. Like, the best book that I remember reading before Harry Potter became a thing was, like, the Animorphs series, which were, you know, it was fun, but they were schlocky 115-page novelettes that were written by K.A. Applegate, who would just sort of, you can tell she, like, rushed, she could, like, push out one a month, which, you know, says a lot to the quality. It's kind of like the R.L. Stine Goosebumps model of writing books as well. So, yeah. There you go. Yeah, so like that was like YA fiction when I was a kid. But then, like, you know, as I got older, the YA fiction started being like The Hunger Games, which I think is one of my favorite novels. The Hunger Games and Harry Potter, and then I don't know what else. John Green, I guess, wrote a bunch of books. I don't know what else is hip in YA, but man, to have been a kid in the 2000s, you got way better choice of books to read than, like, the stuff we had to read. I do remember there being one book that I don't have. I remember reading when I was in the 9th grade, and I cannot for the life of me remember the name of this book, but I remember that 14-year-old Tristan was obsessed with it because it was like this dystopian science fiction story in which kids were being, like, there was like this whole genetic thing where, like, they were being, like, bred with the best of the best in order to be like the Ubermensch kids, and then they were simulating war. They were simulating war, but, like, with, like, basically like VR, and they were like VR pushing troops and stuff like that to fight each other. Like, I remember they were talking about how they would, like, they would, like, push the troops with their hands and stuff like that. And it was, like, obviously, as I grew up, I realized it was kind of like a hack attempt to kind of capitalize on the popularity of, like, Ender's Game and stuff like that. But I just remember that book, and I don't remember what book that is or who it was, but comes to mind. Okay. Michael Kirchner, what do you think will happen in the UK? I see a lot of discussion about Brexit's deadline coming up very close now. Yeah. Ooh, that Brexit's been on the horizon for a while. I should make a Brexit video. I don't think it'll be very good, but I think I should probably start researching for it now. But long story short, British people did a dumb and voted to leave the European Union against all economic interests and the, like, you know, ontological future of Europe, you know. So despite the fact that it's going to break up the United Kingdom and head the UK to economic ruin, they voted to leave the European Union back in 2016. I remember when this happened. And they were talking about how they're going to save so much money because of all this false information that was flying around from the Leave campaign. And now there's, like, people who are talking about Brexit in, like, the terms of, like, the London Blitz. So, you know, it's kind of fully dawned on people how bad Brexit's going to be for the British people. And then ever since that's been voted for, now the British have been trying to figure out what they're going to do about so many issues, because Britain was very much entwined with the European Union in so many ways that and also the European Union is under no if anything, they're disincentivized from making Brexit easy on the British, because the British they don't want anybody else to consider doing this. And so the British are trying to get things. They try to get a deal because there's all sorts of issues with, like, the fact that, like, Ireland has an open border because back when they had military checkpoints, it led to terrorism on the border. That's coming back. There's issues with Gibraltar and putting in a hard border in Gibraltar. There's the fact that Scotland voted almost unanimously for stay. And then the English basically forced them to do it. So Scotland might try to get out so they can join the European Union. And yeah, there's just all sorts of stuff going down all at the same time. And also, there's been a lot of work to try and pretend that the effort to stop the effort in Brexit was not blatantly racist, and it was all about being mad that people were either worshipping a god or using the Arabic word for God, and or they were speaking Polish, and apparently these two things were so unconscionable that they had to basically self-detonate the United Kingdom in order to prevent it. So, anyways, there was this attempt from the British government, from subreddit. There was an attempt to try and work out the best deal possible between Europe and the UK. It resulted in this really crappy deal that was never going to work for anybody. And Theresa May has now tried. She tried twice to push that one through Parliament, both times failing miserably. She then has gone back and made a last-minute agreement with Europe, with more compromises on behalf of Europe. And just today it was announced that that also failed in Parliament, like, dramatically, which for a party that has the majority government in friggin' the House of Commons is that's not good. The fact that Theresa May has, like, lost control over her own party is not awesome. I guess it's a minority government thing, but even a lot of conservatives have broken with her. So she's in a pretty unstable position, and the thing is, the deadline for what's called in Britain hard Brexit, which is leaving without a deal, which basically means that all of the benefits that the UK gets for being in the European Union just abruptly end. The deadline to get some sort of exit deal through is the 29th, which is 2 weeks from Friday. And this vote was basically the last attempt to get something through Parliament, which now people are Yeah, now people are talking about trying to call the whole thing off and try to kick the can down the road. There's some people that are saying that, like, Brexit might just not happen, or energy for the second referendum, but, like, anything to avoid what's called hard Brexit. But we'll see what happens, because there's a whole lot of, like, small things that you wouldn't even think of that Brexit's gonna, like, fuck up royally. Like, what's gonna happen to the Channel? What's gonna happen to all of the shipyards? Because now all of these boats that were shipping stuff in and out of the country are going to have to go through, are going to get all backed up because they're going to have to go through customs, which means that everything in Britain's going to get super expensive and there's going to be shortages, and it's going to be just a whole, it's going to be a disaster. It's going to be such a disaster. And, yeah, I do not feel good for the British right now, and I really wish that they had not done this. I'm hoping, best case scenario is that this leads to a second referendum that fails, or that succeeds, or however you would say it, that results in Britain staying in the European Union, realizing that it's too hard to quit. The second option is that it's probably between that and hard Brexit. And hard Brexit, there's probably a third option, but hard Brexit would probably be the end of the United Kingdom as we know it. I think that I could see Scotland leaving over this. I could see Ireland repatriating back into the Republic of Ireland over this. I could even see losing Gibraltar over this, which would just have England and Wales just buddies for life. And yeah, just there's probably no time for a new referendum. Yeah. So the other option is that they get some sort of emergency agreement with the European Union to kick the can down the road for another 6 months. Which, could happen. See you later, Wolframium. And if that happens, if they kick the can down the road, then we're just going to have this discussion again in 6 months anyway. But I'm thinking that after the failure that there might be a push to try and solve just stop Brexit altogether. Which I think will be the necessary thing to do and will, for once and for all, ruin Theresa May's just absolutely abysmal political career. Because there's going to be an election afterwards, and Jeremy Corbyn's going to be the next Prime Minister. Everybody in the UK knows it. It's just a matter of pulling the trigger on it. Hello, Beastitivity. Alright. Isaac M.I. Love that video. Wasn't received. You're talking about the birth control video. I think there was a couple of factors that led to the birth control video not doing super great. First of all, it's a video about women, and on Step Back I have learned through the data that videos about women don't do well. I actually, last Tuesday, talked to Anita Sarkeesian about it, and I asked, hey, is there, I have this, channel that, is very socially progressive, but it's very socially progressive, very social justice forward, and even has a majority male audience, so I feel like I have this responsibility to, get this information out. And I said, I'm making this video about birth control that I know is not going to do well because all the times I talk about anything to do with women, the videos tank. And she was suggesting that I possibly kind of frame it almost almost tricky in a way, where instead of calling it making the video in the title and thumbnail about birth control, but saying about the most important invention of the 20th century. But yeah, it's not gonna be I didn't do that because that doesn't really work on YouTube. So there's the angle that whenever you talk about women on my channel, I get about 30% lower views. But at the same time, because it was a collaboration with Cypher, the cynical historian, that because of the it was a collaboration with Cypher, the cynical historian, He wanted the video to come out at this time that I would not have gone with if I had the choice. We released the video at like 8 a.m. on a Friday, and I would have thought that maybe releasing it in the early afternoon would have been a better thing, but I think there's some stuff about him being the West Coast and all sorts of stuff, so that's when we did it. And so, you know, those two factors led to the video not doing super great. Is cynical historian a leftist? No. I think he's left of center. He's definitely more woke than most average dudes, but not like super duper woke. And also on top of that, he has a channel strategy that is much more focused on not alienating conservatives compared to mine, where, like, you know, I've read Primal Branding, and also I don't particularly give a shit. All right. Let's play some Undertale. I've been going for already half an hour. Let's play a little bit of Undertale, and then I will answer some more questions. All right, so last we left off, we were in a wintry place. I gotta remember the controls. Okay, this is a box. You can put an item inside or take an item out. The same box will appear later, so don't worry about coming back. Sincerely, a box lover. Use box. Okay, so this is like a stash, like a Diablo stash. You equip Top Glove. See you later, Radical Viewer. Hey, here's a fishing pole. Just a rod to fix the ground. Reel it in. Yes. It's a photo of a weird-looking monster. Call me. Here's my number. You decide not to call. Okay. Oh yeah, so last time I played this, I made the cardinal sin of eating pie when I wasn't supposed to, because this game gave me no direction whatsoever. Which, you know, I think is part of its charm, right? Alright. I was supposed to hide from these dudes, but I don't think there's anywhere else to go. So, as I was saying about Undyne... Uh-oh. I was supposed to hide from him. Oh, man. Okay, let's see what happens. Sans! Oh my god, is that a human? Oh, wait, I was doing a voice for him, too. Like, it's a human from the surface world! Like, he was like a friggin', like, Skeletor. Actually, I think that's a rock. Oh, boy. Okay, I forgot that the writing in this game is really good. Oh. Hey, what's that in front of the rock? Oh my god, is that a human? Yes. Oh my god! Sans, I finally did it! Undyne will... I'll be so popular, popular, popular. Oh man. Ahem. Human, you shall not pass this area. I, the great Papyrus, will stop you. I will then capture you. You will be delivered to the capital. Then, I'm not sure what's next. In any case, continue only if you dare. Yeah. Oh, man. Well, that went well. Don't sweat it, kid. I'll keep an eye socket out for you. I thought, like, he said he was going to, capture and kill me. And then, I guess not. I guess, like, it's just, like, fine. Or something. What's this thing? Ooh. Oh, no. Snowdrake. Alright. Snowdrake. Joke. Make a bad ice pun. Is that supposed to be funny? Snowdrake is assessing the crowd. Alright. Check. You laugh at Snowdrake before it says anything funny. What are you laughing at? Oh no. Alright, Snowdrake is smelling its own bad joke. Alright, now you can laugh. Oh no. Alright, I gotta figure out how to, like, navigate this thing. Okay. Let's heckle. You tell a Snowdrake that they aren't funny. It's your flesh as rotten as you. Oh no. Oh my. Oh. Snowdrake realized its own name is a pun and is freaking out. Let's make a joke. You make a bad ice pun. Haha, nice one. Yeah. Snowdrake is assessing the crowd. Alright. We've tried laughing. We've tried heckling. We've tried laughing. Check. This teen comedian fights to keep a captive audience. Macaroni and freeze. Hehe. Alright, now let's try laughing. You laugh at Snowdrake's pun. See? Laughs. Dad was wrong. Aw, poor guy. Oh no. Snowdrake is pleased with its cool joke. Okay, cool. So that means we can give it mercy. Yeah. Alright, we did one combat. Let's answer another question. So, Argos Panoptes, thoughts on the YouTube pedophile thing and the demonetization. Actually, let's talk about that a little bit. So, this is like a thing that's been on, it's been going on in YouTuber world, and as someone who is a YouTuber who tries to keep up to date on all this stuff, I can tell you guys a little bit about what's going on. So, a video came out from this one guy whose name escapes me at the moment, and it was this breakdown of the way the YouTube's like recommendation engine algorithm works. Basically, there was this way that videos featuring children were getting taken down, re-uploaded by basically pedophile accounts, and there would be lots of comments that were pretty terrible, and there'd be time codes when the kids were in suggestive poses, and like all this kind of really fucked up stuff. But for some reason, the way that it worked, if you made a new YouTube account, you would click on a few links, and like if you just like search for something like gymnastics, and then saw a video of like a kid doing gymnastics, you could you know, go down a couple recommended side bar clicks, and all of a sudden you are in this never-ending pit of all of these like videos run by pedophiles. Yes, his name was Matt What Is. There you go. And basically, like, once you did that, if you had a new channel, you went to the homepage, and all of a sudden all of your recommendations were like this. And he made a video sort of pointing out how messed up that is. And so YouTube is sort of going through another adpocalypse because advertisers are getting freaked out and pulling out, and the demonetization algorithm is back into overdrive like it was about a year ago. Or 2 years ago now, I guess. Holy crap. And so, yeah, things are not great in that sense. And, yeah, so that happened. And after that went down, which I think is interesting because as a lot of people here who are probably, like, steeped in BreadTube, you'll know that this is true of, like, Nazi videos. It's the same problem with Nazi content. That, you know, you watch a video about video games, and all of a sudden it starts recommending you, like, stuff about the white race or something. Like, white genocide, and it's like, what the shit? And yeah, like, you watch, like, one, like, I don't hate watch YouTubers, so I don't know how I kept my recommendations pretty clean. I think it's because I don't know. I have no idea why. But my recommendations, I've been actually pretty lucky. It's probably because I, like, literally said, it tried to recommend me Computing Forever a while back. And I said, not interested because I'm not interested in Computing Forever because I knew what that guy was up to. But then it's been not as bad as some people have told me. But it's still, the recommendation tube that it goes down gets pretty bad. And I would probably want to... I'm probably going to pitch a VidCon panel about this stuff. later on, but or an EduCon panel or something. Anyways, yeah, so that's led to another adpocalypse, and this is a thing that they're trying to work on, that YouTube's trying to make a big deal about, and so we'll see where that goes, because, yeah, the recommendation algorithm, it turns out that when YouTube tells you what you want, rather than, like, you know, see you later on Narco TV, it turns out when YouTube tells you what you want to watch, rather than you telling them what you want to watch, you end up with some weird crap like that. All right, let's get back to the Undertale. There's some narration on this cardboard box. You observe the well-crafted sentry station. Oh, is this Papyrus's like checkpoint? Who could have built this, you wonder? It's in Papyrus font. I love it. I bet it was a very famous royal guardsman. Note, not yet a very famous royal guardsman. Alright. Our sign. Absolutely no moving! Okay. Uh-oh. Oh no, it's a shifty-eyed dog. You know that shifty-eyed dogs are the most dangerous. Did something move? Was it my imagination? I can only see moving things. If something was moving, for example, a human, I'd make sure it never moves again. Doggo blocks the way. Let's pet the doggo. You can pet the dog in this one. See, guys, this game is good. You can pet the dog in this video game. Doggo is too suspicious of your movements. It moved. It didn't. Oh, dang. Doggo is confirming the moving object. Oh! Do you have to not move? Let's see what happens if I just don't move. Ha! Clever, clever. Hey, look, he's barking. What? I've been pet! Pet, pet. Doggo has been pet. Oh, look at that. Look at that. Oh, man. Hey, I don't know if you remember, when you recommended Liesman Teacher Told Me, and I wanted to thank you because it was very good. Well, thank you, Daniel Bartel. I'm glad you enjoyed it. That's a pretty decent, it's a pretty decent, book. I'm glad you enjoyed it. It's one of the better history books that you can read. So, I'm glad that you enjoyed it. I'm glad that I gave you some entertainment. That's all I do, right? I am an entertainer. Alright, question. Okay. Chicken be damned. Is that a reference to me bitching about my supper on Discord? Yes, it is. I was making a joke about how something about your chicken when you missed the stream. I don't know. I was just goofing. Something pet me. Something that isn't moving. I'm gonna need some dog treats for this. Hey, there's some dog treats. Someone's been smoking dog treats. Oh, okay. This guy is, unique. Okay, on we go. Sup? Hey, here's something important to remember. My brother has a very special attack. If you see a blue attack, don't move and it won't hurt you. Here's an easy way to keep it in mind. Imagine a stop sign. When you see a stop sign, you stop, right? Stop signs are red, so imagine a blue stop sign instead. Simple, right? When fighting, think about blue stop signs. Alrighty. Oh. It's one of these dealies. North, ice. South, ice. West, ice. East, Snowden Town. And ice. Alright, let's see what's up here. Hey, it's a snowman. Hello, I am a snowman. I want to see the world, but I cannot move. If you would be so kind, traveler, please. Take a piece of me and bring it very far away. Okay. You got the snowman piece. Cool. You're so lazy! You were napping all night. I think that's called sleeping. Excuses, excuses. Oh my. This guy's intense. Oh no! The human arrives! In order to stop you, my brother and I have created some puzzles. Interesting strategy. Okay. I think you will find this one quite shocking. For you to see, this is the invisible electricity maze. When you touch the walls of this maze, this orb will administer a hearty zap. Sounds like fun, because the amount of fun you will probably have is actually rather small, I think. You're very good at these lines. Okay, you can go ahead now. He shocked himself, okay. Sans, what did you do? I think the human has to hold the orb. Oh, okay. Hold this, please. Okay, try now. Incredible, you slippery snail. You solved it so easily. Too easily. However, the next puzzle will not be easy. It is designed by my brother Sans. You will surely be confounded. I know I am. What's a meme? Oh, you're talking about the libertarian joke. Yeah. Okay. Hey, thanks. My brother seems like he's having fun. By the way, did you see that weird outfit he's wearing? We made that a few weeks ago for a costume party. He hasn't worn anything else since. Keeps calling it his battle body. Man. Isn't my brother cool? I can read... They say that in text you can't read sarcasm. But I could definitely read sarcasm. Alright, let's answer one more question. Did you hear about Cuba having a referendum on the new constitution and it passed? Comrade Jeb, but yes, I have heard about that. Heard about it on Chapo Trap House, actually. Apparently, people have opinions about it. I don't know too much. I think that there's people who wanted a bit more democracy, but I did hear that it was a constitution that was voted upon with a lot of public consultation. I have heard it's got a lot of liberalization, which is, you know, not great, but I enjoy I'm happy about the more freedom, less happy about the less communism, I guess is the answer. Alright. Oh, hey, look at you. I don't understand why these aren't selling. It's the perfect weather for something cold. Oh, a customer! Hello, would you like some ice cream? It's a frozen treat that warms your heart. Now just 15 gold pieces. I can get it later. Well then, tell your friends. There's ice cream out in the middle of the woods. Alright. Is this the thing? Guess not. Alright, there's a big sphere. Oh, hey, it's a ball. Hey. Hey, what are you doing here? I've been thinking about selling treats too. Want some fried snow? It's just 5 gold. Sure. Did I say 5 gold? I mean 50 gold. No. You're right. That's still too low. Alright, let's see what this is. His. Hers. Smell danger rating. Snow smell. Snowman white rating. Can become yellow rating. Unsuspicious smell. Puppy blue rating. Smell of rolling around. Weird smell. Humans green rating. Destroy at all costs. Gotta find that ball. Well, the ball moved back here. No, that's not ball. Oh, there's a hole. No, come on. It looks like a snowball. Actually, it's a snow decahedron. Oh, man. Cute. So I imagine that I had to get the thing down this hole. It's a hole. Oh, boy. Human! I hope you're ready for... Sans, where's the puzzle? It's right there, on the ground. Trust me, there's no way they can get past this one. So, it's word search. Sans, that didn't do anything. Whoops. I knew I should have used today's crossword instead. Oh, man. What? Crossword? I can't believe you said that. In my opinion, Junior Jumble is easily the hardest. What? Really? Dude? That's easy peasy word scramble? That's for baby bones. Unbelievable! Cameron saying boy. Oh man. Humans, solve this dispute. Which is harder, jumble or crossword? Let's go with crossword. You two are weird. Crosswords are so easy. It's the same solution every time. I just fill in the boxes with the letter Z. Because every time I look at a crossword, all I can do is snore. Yeah. What a weirdo. Alright, let's do another question. Citizen Fofi, are you in a union? Nope. I am not in a union. I am a underemployed person with several jobs, and one of them is it's all part-time. I used to work for a union. I used to be a union steward back when I was a grad student. Not anymore. Alright. Can I actually do the Junior Jumble? I'm guessing somebody or something. I don't know. Hey. Alright, let's see what this is. It's a note from Papyrus. Human, please enjoy the spaghetti. Little do you know, the spaghetti is a trap designed to entice you. You'll be so busy eating it that you won't realize that you aren't progressing. Thoroughly japed again by the great Papyrus. Yeah, Papyrus. Okay. Spaghetti, huh? It's a plate of frozen spaghetti. It's so cold, it's stuck to the table. Okay. What happened in the last union you were a part of? I was in a union that, let's see. It was, oh gosh, what was it? What's it called? It's the Public Sector Alliance of Canada, something like that. And I was just, nothing happened in the union. I just stopped being a grad student, and so I was no longer part of it. Alright. On we go. We should probably check out this microwave. It's an unplugged microwave. All of the settings say spaghetti. Okay. Can we put the spaghetti in the microwave? Is that a thing we can do? I guess not. Warning. Dog marriage. Okay. Interesting. Uh-oh. Lesser dog appears. Aw, you're a greater dog in my mind. Pet the dog. You barely lifted your hand, the dog got excited. Lesser dog. Oh, okay. Pet all dogs. I do like petting dogs. There's something under here. This looks like it used to be a house of some kind. I don't know. Let's go exploring this way. Let's see if there's anything over here. Nope. I mean, they wouldn't just put something here for no reason. There's a switch hidden in the snow. Click. Alright, there we go. Let's see if that did anything. It did. Uh-oh. Those dogs do not look friendly. What's that smell? Where's that smell? If you're a smell, identify your smell. Here's that weird smell. It makes me want to eliminate. Eliminate you. Oh no. Dogai. The dogs are too suspicious of your smell. Paws off, you smelly human. I wouldn't even know how to beat this thing. Okay. You roll around in the dirt and snow. You smell like a weird puppy. The dogs may want to re-smell you. The dogs sniff you again. After rolling in the dirt, you smell alright. The dogs think that you may be a lost puppy. You pet the dog Aresa. What about me? The dogs are practicing for the next couples contest. Alright. You pet Dogamy. Wow, pet mine on the pup. I don't know. I think I'm going to lose this one. But luckily, they have been spared. That was a close one. Dogs can pet other dogs. A new world has opened up for us. Thanks, weird puppy. Alright, let's ask one more question. Some random geek. Question, have you seen or are you going to see Captain Marvel? Probably. I do see all the Marvel doings eventually. I usually don't see them right away. Last weekend I didn't see it. I might see it this weekend. It depends on how busy I am or how lazy I am. But, you know, maybe I'll go to the theater on Saturday and go see it. But, honestly, like, I typically like to go to the movies, like, when it's in second run or something like that, so that it's, like, cheaper. But also, like, I think that I don't want to really be, like, the kind of falling for the culture war, being like, oh, if you want to support feminism, you have to give this faceless corporation your money. I don't understand, just because there's a bunch of dinguses on the internet who decided to try and take it down unsuccessfully. Which, like, anybody could have seen from a mile away. But I really don't have an overburning desire to give, like, you know, Kevin Feige more money just because there are some dinguses on the internet. Who's more qualified to talk about Venezuela, you, Donald Trump, or Elliot Abrams? Oh boy, I don't think either of us would be very good. On all of those, I mean, I think that Donald Trump doesn't know dick about dick. Elliot Abrams probably does know stuff, but he's just not saying anything because he has an agenda. And, I don't know. I don't know what I'm talking about, but at least I'm like, you know, leave Venezuela alone. Can you answer my first question about tips on owning libtards? I have no idea what you're talking about, bud. I don't play TP USA memes. Ice Cap appears. Jerry came too. Alright, Ice Cap. Compliment. You inform Ice Cap that it has a nice hat. Jerry sneezes without covering his nose. Alright. You and the other monsters ditch Jerry when it looks away. What a great hat, mine. The other monsters celebrate Jerry's disappearance. Aww. What compliment its hat? It's a great hat. Envious? Too bad. You try to steal Icecap's hat, but it's not weakened enough. Oh no. Shh. Return of Jerry. Alright, Jerry. You and the other monsters ditch Jerry when it looks away. No. No, it's hat residue. The other monsters celebrate Jerry's disappearance. Okay. You inform Icecap that it has a great hat. Oh, my hat's too. Oh, okay, I'm doing this wrong. You manage to tear your eyes away from Icecap's hat. It looks annoyed. God damn. Okay, so first thing we gotta do is ditch. This is thing number one. Then gosh damn, I feel like I'm really not learning my lesson here. Okay. Okay. Oh no. All right. All right, let's see. Let's answer a question before we go back to the game. All right. Hey, only bro 555. Welcome back. You're never late. All right. Considering you're an anarchist, is the term's false connotation with chaos laughable or offensive? It's definitely unproductive. It comes from the time of the whole propaganda of the deed period of, like, there was a time in, like, the early 20th century where, you know, anarchists were kind of, were not unknown. They were very much associated with, like, terrorism and, you know, murdering McKinley and stuff, which, you know, that's not great. But, it's kind of where the association, I think, and the punk movement, I think that's where those things all come from. You managed to tear your eyes away from... It looks annoyed. Alright. You continue not looking at Icecap's hat. Oh god, this gets complicated real fast. Alright, Snowdrake realizes its own name is upon is freaking out. Alright. So first thing, gotta get rid of him. Cool. Snowdrake. Laugh. You laugh at Snowdrake's pun. Okay, Snowdrake is pleased with its own cool joke. Cool. There we go. Okay. Let's see. All right, what's the next thing? Will this stream get saved for the channel? We already talked about that. Are you going to spoil the Millennium's old Iliad? Oh, that was an old joke about that when I was talking about Shakespeare. Have you heard about the Trump administration's attempt to defend Planned Parenthood and redirect the money to crisis pregnancy centers? No, I have not. That is creepy and bad. I would not like if that happened. Alright, let's see what this is all about. Okay, so... Interesting. Turn every X into an O, then press the switch. Okay. Interesting. Oh. Sup, Papyrus? What? How did you avoid my trap? And more importantly, is there any left for me? What do you tell Papyrus about his spaghetti? Left it. Really? Wowee. You resisted the flavor of my home-cooked pasta just so you could share it with me? Fret not, human. I, Master Chef Papyrus, will make you the best all the pasta you could ever want. Ha 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 ha, yeah. Oh, man. Okay. The new Cuban constitution has added private property, foreign investment, a prime minister, term limits, banning discrimination, new justice system, and you can sue the government. Yeah, that, some of that's good, some of that's bad. I don't really mind a prime minister or, you know, term limits are okay. Discrimination is, that's good to get rid of that. Justice system, probably good. The whole political prisoner issue in Cuba. But suing the government and private property and foreign investment, I would not be a fan of that. Was there a significant majority in the West who realized that neoliberalism was going back to a pre-1929 world? Yeah, there were some. Like, there were Keynesian economists, but honestly, in the 70s, there was something called stagflation, which made a lot of people sort of think that the Keynesian model, or the way things were going, wasn't really the future anyway. And then that's how people kind of started changing their mind. Also, keep in mind, like, neoliberalism only succeeded because of, like, neoclassical economics had to really sell itself. Like, they had to get people on TV, they published books, they had conferences, they did like an intellectual spread to try and force the ideas on Americans at least. But I mean, the rest of the world followed suit pretty quick. Alright. Sans. My brother started a sock collection recently. How saddening. Sometimes I wonder what he would do without such a cool guy taking care of him. Yeah. Alright. Human! How do I say this? You were taking a long time to arrive, so I decided to improve this puzzle by arranging the snow to look more like my face. Unfortunately, the snow froze to the ground. Now the solution is different. And, as usual, my lazy brother is nowhere around. I suppose that's what I'm saying is, worry not, human. I, the great Papyrus, will solve this conundrum. Then we can both proceed. Meanwhile, feel free to try the puzzle yourself. I'll try not to give away the answer. Alright. So... okay. Nope. Let's reset those. Okay, so... Nope, okay. So that doesn't work that way. Okay. Okay, we have to go two. And then this. Oh, nope, that's not gonna work. Close, though. Then... Oh, no. Go ask the skeleton what to do. So you want a hint, huh? Well, I've been looking at the puzzle, and I think the solution is to turn all the X's into O's. You should try that. Ask again for more great hints. Ha ha ha. Alright, so there's definitely... Alright, so... Oh, yeah, that works. Nope. Wow, you solved it. My advice helped. It really helped you. Incredible. I'm impressed. You must care about puzzles like I do. Well, I'm sure you'll love the next puzzle then. It might even be too easy for you. Sorry, I thought him saying he wouldn't help was a misdirect. Well, there we go. We did the thing. Oh, hey, Sans. Good job on solving it so quickly. You didn't even need my help, which is great, because I love doing absolutely nothing. Yep, alright. Hey, it's the human. You're gonna love this puzzle. It was made by the great Dr. Alphys. You see these tiles? Once I throw this switch, they will begin to change color. Each color has a different function. Red tiles are impassable. You cannot walk on them. Yellow tiles are electric. They will electrocute you. Green tiles are alarm bell tiles. If you step on them, you will have to fight a monster. Orange tiles are orange scented. They will make you smell delicious. Blue tiles are water tiles. Swim through them if you like, but if you smell like oranges, the piranhas will bite you. Also, if a blue tile is next to a yellow tile, the water will also zap you. Purple tiles are slippery. You will slide next to the tile. However, the slippery slope smells like lemons, which piranhas do not like. Purple and blue are okay. Finally, pink tiles. They don't do anything. Step on them all you like. How is that? Understand? Of course. Great. Then there's one last thing. This puzzle is entirely random. When I pull this switch, it will make the puzzle. That has never been seen before. Not even I will know the solution. Yeah, get ready. Oh, Jesus. Nice. Actually, that spaghetti from earlier, it wasn't too bad for my brother. Since he started cooking lessons, he's been improving a lot. I bet he keeps it up. Next year he'll even make something edible. Huh. The machine isn't working. Oh, that's great. I love the way this game uses like the mechanics to fuck with you. It's great. Let's answer another question. This is from 10-22-X1 Fujioka. What do you think of the content of the YouTube channel Bad Mouse Productions? It's okay. I feel like he's he's like transitioning from ANCAP to ANCOM to now basically like Marxist-Leninist. This stuff's good, I guess. I have no issues with it. This dog is staring blankly into the snow, waiting for it to turn into art. This dog is staring blankly into the snow. Okay. On the floor inside is a box of... What was that? Pomeranians. Oh, God. Aware of dog. Please pet dog. Aw. Hey, a cow person. Would a dog consider itself an artist, but that doesn't know what to create? It probably doesn't help that its brain is the size of a piece of kibble. Alright. Oh, we're doing this again, huh? Oh my. It's a lump of snow with the word "sans" written on it in red marker. It's a snow papyrus. Oh. Okay. Okay, I see how this is. You should have let the dog more. What? Just some more dog stuff I could do? Alright, let's go see the dog. I don't know how to pet the dog. I want to pet the dog. Too late. This game is so, like, unforgiving. Alright, let's go down here. What's up? Say, are you following me? The countdown stream is coming back. Yes. I'm not sure when I'm going to start doing it again. Probably after... Probably not next week, but the week after. It'll come back. I still got some harsh deadlines that I have to hit. But I know... I changed my work schedule a little bit. I was basically working 10 hours a week more than I was supposed to. But now that I'm at least taking Mondays off, I will be able to do some work. Gift. Okay. You remove the lenticular bookmark of a smug teen winking. That's a little better. It's undecorated. You remove a small, confused dog. Okay. Pet is a comment word cell phone. Oh yeah, so let's answer another question while we're here. Why Boris Johnson? Explain Boris Johnson. There's no explaining Boris Johnson. He is a strange thing. The irony is the most vote for the... Okay. What do you think about the ethics of the EU making the UK suffer to dissuade other nations from leaving? I mean, I don't know if that is actually the case. That's maybe just me reading into it. But, you know. Alright, let's move on. We're in a cave with mushrooms and sparkles. Okay. It's a door. Alright, let's see. Let's do this the old-fashioned way. Let's do every permutation. I have no idea if this is the way that's supposed to work, but, you know. Let's write down that question before I do that. So, Coke or Pepsi? Choose wisely. I am more of a Pepsi person. Okay. I feel like I might just be wasting my time on this, but I don't know. I used to be really into Coke when I was like a little kid, or like when I was like a teenager, but just, I don't know. I just kind of got more into Pepsi as an adult. It's a recent phenomenon, that's for sure. Alright, tried every permutation. This doesn't really do anything, does it? Okay, let's just move along. I think there was another direction to check out. I don't know, I drank Coke when I was like Coke was, I preferred Coke over Pepsi for a long time, and then it was kind of just a force of habit. But now I'm like, Pepsi's actually a little bit tastier, in my opinion. But obviously it all tastes pretty much the same, and let's be honest, it's not that important of a choice, all things considered. Snow Puff. There's 30 gold inside this. What is this? It's a Snow Puff. It's a popper. Oh my. It's the greater dog. You call the greater dog. It bounds towards you. Fucking slobber into your face. Ah, no. Praxis, stay determined. I will. Aspartame or sugar is the real question. Yeah, I'm a total Diet Pepsi person. Oh wait, maybe I could do the dog thing this time. So how do you pet this dog? Or does safe scumming not work in this game? Wrong dog. This is a dog. Alright. The one you found in the snow. Okay, well. Oh no. correctly. All right, let's do this again then. What a tiny doghouse. Woof. Alright, so this one had money. One of these had money. Alright. Let's do the dog fight again and see if we can become besties with this doggy, and then we will I'll answer some more questions. Ugh. God damn it. Alright, that's a good sign. Greater dog is seeking affection. Alright, pet. You make a snowball and throw it for the dog to fetch. It splats on the ground, picks up all the snow in the area, and brings it to you. Now, dog is very tired. It rests its head on you. Oh no. Grader wants some TLC. Right, pet dog. As you pet the dog, it sinks its entire weight into you. Your movement's slow, but you still haven't pet enough. No, no. Okay. This is a tougher fight than I thought. Can't give up just yet. Alright. We'll get there. We'll get there. As a libertarian, what if the child consent? I love how, like, political compass memes, the butt of the joke is always the right-wing libertarians, because they, as an ideology, make no sense. How do you feel about the ethics of eating at a restaurant chains owned by right-wingers? My parents took me for a birthday dinner at a restaurant that had anti-EU literature next to the salt. I don't know. That's weird. The fights get more and more insane. Oh, lovely. I don't know. I've never really worried too much about the politics of restaurants, but, I mean, the amount of money that you're giving to that business is very small. It'd be great if you can boycott. Like, I try to, like, if you're part of a boycott or something, like, if you're, like, trying to do some BDS or something, that's one thing. But, like, just, like, not going to a restaurant because you heard it's bad, it's, I don't know. It's, you're not going to be making much of a dent, I think. Alright. Gotta go find that gold. Yeah, restaurants are gonna have Fox News in a restaurant is like not surprisingly, because like if it's a restaurant that has a lot of old people hang out, like it's bound to happen. Greater dog is seeking affection. Nice. Greater dog is patting the ground with its front paws. Greater dog picks up all snow in the air and brings it to you. Now the dog is very tired. It rests its head on you. Greater dog wants some TLC. Alright. As you pet the dog, it sinks its entire weight into you. Your movement's slow, but you still haven't pet enough. Ugh. Pet capacity is at 40%. Greater dog is contented. There we go. It's called Weatherspoons. It's a gastropub owned by an EU skeptic called Tim Martin. Well, if you don't feel comfortable eating there, don't worry about it. But I wouldn't, like, you know, I wouldn't, like, you know, if you're getting, like, if your parents are taking you out for a birthday dinner, I wouldn't, like, make a big stink about it. That's just me. Because I know that, like, Tim Hortons is owned by a pretty shitty company. And, yet, you know, you gotta go there. Human! This is your final and most dangerous challenge. Behold, the Gauntlet of Deadly Terror. Oh my. When I say the word, it will fully activate. Cannons will fire, spikes will swing, blades will slice. Each part will swing violently up and down. Only the tiniest chance of victory will remain. Are you ready? Because I am about to do it! I like how there's a dog on the string. Well, what's the holdup? Hold up. What holdup? I'm about to activate it now. Did you talk to the mods? Nope. That doesn't look very activated. Well, this challenge, it seems, may be too easy to defeat the human with. Yeah, we can't use this one. I'm a skeleton with standards. My puzzles are very fair, and my traps are expertly cooked. But this method is too direct. No class at all. Away it goes. Whew. Hope there's a save point. Alright. Come on. Sup. I don't know what my brother's going to do now. If I were you, I would make sure I understand blue attacks. Yeah, I feel like I should probably just go back to that save spot and heal up and save after that dogfight. After that Michael Vick moment I had where I had to pet a dog until it surrendered. You guys too young to remember Michael Vick? Does that make me an old person? Oh. Seems like the base of a snow dog. Aw. Alrighty, what's another question? Can anarchists and Marxist-Leninists get along in IRL? Obviously, nobody likes to... Yeah. People get along... Marxist-Leninists and anarchists get along all the time. We have, like, 90% of the same goals. So, what's it called? The professor, Donnie Gluckstein, who I interviewed for the Paris Commune video, he's a Marxist-Leninist. And he explained to me some stuff that I did not know. Like, the Marxist-Leninists are actually... at heart, like, they still believe in a stateless society of communism. They're just, they just believe that you need to make a state and sort of a vanguard party to defeat capitalism first. And it's like, okay, that's not something I agree with, but that's something we can have a conversation about. Ice cap, and so they confront you, sighing. Jerry. Alright, if I remember, we have to... Ice cap, we have to... ignore? Snowdrake realizes. You continue not looking at Ice Cap's hat. It seems defeated. Okay, Snowdrake is assessing the crowd. Realizes a pun is freaking out. Okay. Make a bad ice pun and the monsters think it's hilarious. Snowdrake is puffed up. Okay, so Jerry... Alright, Snowdrake, just need to laugh. Snowdrake is pleased. There we go. Okay. Okay, suppose we lived in an anarchist or a communist post-scarcity world where no one had to work and there was no wealth inequality. How would people in such a world get their sense of self-worth? Probably the same way that we get it now. I do think that very often just because we wouldn't have required jobs doesn't mean we wouldn't have work that we do. People would still do stuff because they're interested in it. People are still... We have a fundamental love of creation, and honestly, like, the relationships we make, the people that we associate with, the you know, you can take pride in being the best at Fortnite or whatever. Really, there's all sorts of things you could do. I think that I feel like it would feel very empty if we felt like we got our sense of self-worth only from the drudgery that we make money from. Welcome to Snowden. Aw. I wonder if Edward's here. Hello, traveler. Hiya, welcome to Snowden. I can't remember the last time I saw a fresh face around here. Where did you come from? The capital? You don't look like a tourist. Are you here by yourself? Oh, let's get out of here. Alright, so we got a rabbit person in the store. What's over here in the inn? Hi, bunny. Welcome to the Snowden Inn. Snowden's premier hotel. One night is 80 gold. I'm good. What's this? Mom says that sleeping can recover your health above your maximum hit points. Aw. Use the box. Yeah, sure. Don't want to walk on the other side of town. Try the under snow tunnels. They're efficiently laid out. Oh. Interesting. Yeah, it really it's really annoying, or not annoying, it's really tragic that Chelsea Manning has been rearrested. It's very, very sad. And it should make us mad. I think there's like an address you can actually mail letters to her, which I think I should do, actually. Something about her disturbs me. Okay. Hi, rabbit. This is my little cinnamon. Isn't my little cinnamon just the cutest? Bun buns are so adorable. Is this a rabbit lady with a pet rabbit? Oh, it's Christmas time. Awful team's tormented by a local monster by decorating its tree like horns. So we start giving monsters presents to make it feel better. Now it's a tradition to put presents underneath a decorated tree. Okay. It's a carefully decorated tree. Some of the presents are addressed from Santa to various locals. Yo, you're a kid too, right? I could tell because you're wearing a striped shirt. Alright, let's see. What's another question? Michael Kirshner, what are your thoughts on brutalist and the future of architecture after the revolution? I like architecture. I don't understand why everything needs political. Well, I understand that there's a lot of political dimensions to different types of architecture. I will tell you, I for a fact do not get it. I don't understand any of it, so I have no real strong place to comment. Maybe sometime I should have on my Subscribe Appreciation Day Betty, who's a friend of mine, who's an architect and also a YouTuber who runs the channel Articulations. Should get her on here. She'd probably have more to say than I would. This town doesn't have a mayor, but if there's ever a problem, a skeleton will tell a fish lady about it. That's politics. See, there you go. There you go, guys. We solved politics. Hear about the recent protests in Russia. No, I have not heard about the protests in Russia. What are they about? Did you see how rude those children were to Dianne Feinstein? That's what my mom said when she showed the clip. She handled it wrong. The children were really rude. I didn't think the children were rude. The children are facing the children. You're talking about the confrontation of Dianne Feinstein, where she basically like yelled at a bunch of children. Yeah, Dianne Feinstein's going to be fucking dead, while all of those kids are going to have to suffer under the consequences of the actions that she has made during her political career, especially when it comes to climate change. So, you know, in order to prevent a future of water rations, those kids are entitled to be as rude as they fucking want to Dianne Feinstein, who has spent her entire career doing nothing about climate change, and they have, by all rights, to be pissed about it. Oh my, it's a bar. The bartender is literally like fire. Interesting bar. Isn't human food different from monster food? It does things like spoil. And when you eat it, it passes all the way through your whole body. Disgusting. I'll have to try it sometime. We're sentries, but we never get any respect. I wish those skeletons would throw us a bone. We love bones. Better watch where you sit down in here, kid. Because that big guy will jump into your lap and give you a lot of love and attention. Oh. These are all the dogs that I beat. I'm thinking of getting a spike collar to show off my personality. It makes a statement like, attach a leash to me and take me for a walk, please. Aw. Hey, old guy. It's playing poker against itself. It appears to be losing. I put out a line for some girls today. Someone told me that there are plenty of fish in the sea. Well, I'm taking that seriously. I'm literally going to make out with a fish. Oh, you're the person who like did that thing where you put the picture on the phone number. Putin is trying to make a firewall make Russians are protesting using the Gadsden flag over the Russian flag. Well, that's super weird. Bold of you to say that they're accidents. What did I say was an accident? I don't think they were rude either, but that's my boomer mother. Does 1960 count as boomer? I showed the clip. I don't, 60 is like technically like I think the cutoff for Gen Xers, but honestly it's close enough. I get it. But yeah, a lot of older people are under the impression that being nice to the people who are literally destroying the planet is more important than stopping the destruction of the planet. Because they don't give a shit. They're going to be dead before they have to worry about the consequences of it, so they don't have to worry about it. Firewalls and banning websites. Yeah, that's no surprise. That feels like that's something right out of the authoritarian playbook, and Putin's not good. I thought Putin was, like, loved in Russia, so it's really interesting that there's actually going to be a protest. Those dogs are part of the Royal Guard, the elite military group led by Undyne. She's rude, loud, and beats up everyone who gets in her way. It's no wonder all the kids want to be like her when they grow up. Grobe said that he'd offer you a glass of water if he doesn't touch the stuff. It's because he's made of fire. The capital's getting pretty crowded, so I heard they're going to start moving here. I don't want to see the erasure of our local culture, but I definitely want to see some city slickers slip on their butts. Alright, well. The jukebox is broken. Alright. Did you hear about the vaccination bill that got passed in Italy? They're making it mandatory for children to be vaccinated or else they won't be able to go to school. I thought that was, like, standard. Oh, well. What are your thoughts on the Fallout franchise? Honestly, okay, so, like, my experience with the Fallout franchise is that I played Fallout, the turn-based game, when I was, like, a kid, and I didn't really get very far. And then I played Fallout 3 a little bit. I honestly just haven't played a ton of Fallout, to be honest. I get a feeling, though, that I'll have more to say when Kelly finishes Skyrim and gets Fallout 3 next and plays it for 1,000 straight hours, because she's really into Skyrim. And then when I told her that, like, Bethesda makes all sorts of games just like this, and I imagine she's going to play through a lot of them. I'll have more to say after that. Everyone is always laughing at cracking jokes, trying to forget our modern crises. Dreariness, crowding, lack of sunlight. I would join them, but I'm not very funny. Oh. We all know the underground has problems, but we smile anyway. Why? We can't do anything, so why be morose about it? Well, that's an attitude you can have. Hey, library. Welcome to the library. Yes, we know, the sign is misspelled. That look in your eye. You're someone that has trouble doing crosswords, aren't you? I love looking at the newspaper. There's so little to report on that we just fill it with comics and games. Cough, cough. When I was younger, my teachers gave me word searches when they ran out of assignments. I thought they were a waste of time, but look at me now. I'm the #1 word search creator in the entire underground. Oh my. Monster History Part 4. Fearing the humans no longer, we moved out of our old city, home. We braved the harsh, cold, damp swampland and searing heat until we reached what we now call our capital. New home. Again, our king is really bad at names. Oh, is it all in order? It's a school report about monster funerals. Monster funerals, technically speaking, are cool as heck. When monsters get old and kick the bucket, they turn to dust. At funerals, we take that dust and spread it on the person's favorite thing. Then their essence will live on in that thing. Am I at the page minimum yet? I'm kind of sick of writing this. While monsters are mostly made of magic, human beings are mostly made of water. Humans, with their physical forms, are far stronger than us, but they will never know the joy of expressing themselves through magic. They'll never get a bullet-patterned birthday gift. Did you know about Maoism, Hoshaoism is being reaccepted into some Marxist-Leninist discourse? I have no idea who that is. Here I am writing this book. A person comes in and picks up the book. They start reading it. Oh, sorry. I'm still writing that one. Because they are made of magic, monsters' bodies are attuned to their soul. If a monster doesn't want to fight, its defenses will weaken. And the crueler the intentions of our enemies, the more their attacks will hurt us. Therefore, if a being with a powerful soul is struck with the desire to kill, let's end the chapter here. Okay. Let's see what's further down this way. It's a mailbox overflowing with unread junk mail. It's labeled as married papyrus. Oh, I know who lives here. It's locked. Oh. Look in the window? No, okay. It's a shed. Can I go in here? It's locked from the inside. Let's go over here and see if the other way has anything before we go venturing off in that direction. What's the Chinese handjob Trump scandal about? I don't actually know a whole lot, except that there's, like, a woman in Florida who's, known for giving handjobs that has some sort of association with Trump and with the Chinese government. I haven't really... Like, people came from all over to get them. I only heard about it just today. I don't really know too much about what's going on with that, though. It's like borderline like a Pizzagate thing. Because, like, handjob person, like, why would you go all the way across the country for that? I don't know. Just something seems fishy. What's this? So there's a werewolf who's just taking blocks of ice that come out of this thing and throwing it in the water. Interesting. Alright, nothing to see up here. So let's go down the other way and see what's up. Did they teach you how to make sausages in the Frankfurt School? Well played. How to destroy Western civilization? I don't know. Alright. What's wrong with letting individuals sue the government? Just governments in general, not fan. I don't know. Suing the government just seems like it. Like oftentimes it's used for like lost profits and stuff like that. It's kind of like stuff that the TPP try to go for. Is she related to Florida Man? I don't think so. I honestly don't know much of the story, and I feel like nobody does. I feel like there's more. There's another shoe to drop on that story that we haven't quite heard yet. And I think that it's one of those situations where a lot of powerful people might be associated with it, so we might never see it. Although, there was somebody the other day who's Epstein or whatever is getting interrogated about connections with child sex. I think it's Epstein. I'm trying to remember. There's a guy who's associated with a whole lot of child sex ring stuff that a lot of celebrities have had associations with but have not been accused of anything. Like Bryan Singer and such. And I know that there's some evidence that that was going to pop at some point, but I don't know much of the details there. Uh-oh. This looks ominous. Uh-oh. I'm in this mist. Oh no. Human, allow me to tell you some complex feelings. Feelings like the joy of finding another past a lover, the admiration for another's puzzle-solving skills, the desire to have a cool, smart person think you are cool. These feelings, they must be what you are feeling right now. I can hardly imagine what it must feel like to feel that way. After all, I am very great. I don't ever wonder what having lots of friends is like. I pity you, lonely human. Worry not, you shall be lonely no longer. I, the great Papyrus, will be your... No. No, this is all wrong. I can't be your friend. You are a human. I must capture you. Then, I can fulfill my lifelong dream. Powerful, popular, prestigious. That's Papyrus, the newest member of the Royal Guard. Oh no, I don't want to have to fight. Papyrus. What? Flirting? So you finally reveal your ultimate feelings. Well, I am a skeleton with very high standards. Oh no. That humility. It reminds me of myself. You're meeting all my standards. Let's date later, after I capture you. Okay. Papyrus is thinking about what to wear for his date. How selfless. You want me to feel better about fighting you. I don't deserve such hospitality from you. Then don't fight me, brah. Papyrus dabs some bone cologne behind his ear. Papyrus likes to say... Hey, neurotransmissions, how you doing? You flirt, but to no avail. Seems acting won't escalate this battle. Alright. Alright, let's see. Alright, let's see. What happens if I just, like... Let's do the cow thing. Let's see if you can handle my fabled blue attack. You're blue now. That's my attack. Yeah. You're blue now. I wonder what I should wear. What? I'm not thinking... God, this is like that freaking Chrome game you play when the internet's out. Hold up longer to jump higher, jeez. I just realized he doesn't have ears. Yeah, don't make me use my special attack. Almost taste my future popularity. Oh no. Smells like bones. Papyrus, head of the Royal Guard. Oh no, this is... Oh god. Oh god! You're too weak. I was easily able to capture you. Oh no. I will now send you to the capture zone. Or, as Sans calls it, our garage? You're in the doghouse now. Yeah. That's one of those times where I was supposed to lose, I think. That was so many bones. Hey, there's a bone. It's a squeaky chew toy. It's a note from Papyrus. Sorry, I have to lock you in the guest room until Undyne arrives. Feel free to make yourself at home. Refreshments and accommodations have been provided. Nephily yours, Papyrus. Unfortunately, it's just dry food. It's too small to sleep on. Alright. Well, that wasn't a very good locking mechanism. What? Again? Oh, where could that human have gone? Wait, that's right, in front of me. Hello, I was worried that you had gotten lost. Sure is a relief to know that you're right here. Wait a second. You're not supposed to escape. Get back there. Alright. Papyrus is thinking about what to cook for his date. Oh, man. Papyrus dabs some bone cologne behind his ear. Alright, so that's obviously not the direction I'm supposed to go, huh? Can't you move sideways while jumping? Maybe. I don't know. I've upgraded the facilities. Not only will you be trapped, but you won't even want to leave. Okay. Please ask before you escape. When you went missing, I got worried. 6. Slightly bone troubled. There's a hot dog now cut up into the kibble. Oh, man. You need to wait longer for the longer bone jump. Alright. Okay, so I gotta beat Papyrus to get past this section, eh? Okay. I feel like this is gonna get repetitive if I don't. Alright, so at least I don't have to do anything, right? I just have to spare him over and over again. Music's fun, though. Undyne will be really proud of you, huh? Oh man, this is getting tough. How much longer do I have to do this? Oh, damn. I'm gonna try it again. You are persistent, but it just won't work on me. I am the persistentist. If you think you are the persistentist, that is wrong, grammatically wrong. Oh, man. Because the correct form would be not as persistentist as Papyrus the persistentist. Hope you enjoyed this lesson. Oh, man. Well, at least we're getting some like good entertainment out of this thing. Although I'm having a good time. Let's answer another question before I fight Papyrus for like the 1000th time. Is there a reason for your channel name other than the obvious? Yes. Stepback's name, I gave it. It has a few meanings. It's like. Not only is it like step back as in like go back in time and look at things, but also the idea of looking at our present with perspective, because I do feel like without history as part of the way you look at the world, if you don't realize that everything has a history that we have to consider, if you don't, step back and get that perspective, the world looks a lot scarier and a lot more hopeless, and issues that we think are insurmountable have been around forever actually haven't been, and all sorts of stuff like that. So that's basically the gist of it. It's to give you context to better understand the way the world works. All right, let's try this again. We're back again. I finally realized the true reason why. You just miss seeing my face so much. I'm not sure I can fight someone who feels this way. But mostly, I'm getting really tired of capturing you. Fight Papyrus? No. Okay, I guess I'll accept my failure. Hey! No, I can't even stop someone as weak as you. Undyne's going to be disappointed in me. I'll never join the Royal Guard, and my friend quantity will remain stagnant. Let's be friends. Really? You want to be friends with me? Well then, I guess I can make an allowance for you. Wowee, we haven't even had our first date, and I've already managed to hit the friend zone. Who knew that all I needed to make us pals was to give awful puzzles and then fight them? You taught me a lot, human. I hereby grant you permission to pass through, and I'll give you directions to the surface. Continue forward until you reach the end of the cavern. Then, when you reach the capital, cross the barrier. That's the magical seal trapping us all underground. Anything can enter through it, but nothing can exit. Except someone with a powerful soul. Like you. That's why the king wants to acquire a human. He wants to open the barrier with soul power. Then us monsters can return to the surface. Oh, I almost forgot to tell you. To reach the exit, you will have to pass through the king's castle. The king of all monsters. He is, well, he's a big fuzzy pushover. Everybody loves that guy. I am certain if you just say, "Excuse me, Mr. Dreamer, can I please go home?" he'll guide you right to the barrier himself. Anyway, that's enough talking. I'll be at home being a cool friend. Feel free to come by and have that date. Aw, man. I like Papyrus a lot better now. Alright, I guess we're going this way. I think at the next... Yeah. This save point, I think we're going to call it, and we'll have to come back. I think that, like... We're like, what? A little over 2 hours, 3 or 4 hours into the game. I think that there's, like... There's not... I don't know. I don't know how far I am into the game, honestly. I've heard that this game isn't super long, but, This is an echo flower. It repeats the last thing it heard over and over. Let's go talk to Sans. What, haven't you seen a guy with 2 jaws before? Fortunately, 2 jaws means twice as many legally required breaks. I'm going to Grillby's. Want to come? Okay, have fun. Sound of rushing water fills you with determination. I would never do a genocide run. That feels just awful. I wouldn't want to do that to these people. Alright. Let's do... Let's do a quick transition. And here we are. All right, everybody. Let me just close Undertale real fast. And I'll talk to you guys a little bit. I think I've got 2 questions left. And the arrow points at Soy. Oh, man. Yeah, so the story behind the Soy picture is that for some reason, I guess I got... the picture, so I took that picture on Twitter once, and then I guess somebody posted it on the Donald, I think is where it ended up. Or it ended up on Paul Joseph Watson's Twitter feed, and then Paul Joseph Watson's Twitter feed, it fed into the Donald, and then some guy sent me a DM on Twitter who was like, hey, that guy, or hey, they're like making fun of you on the Donald. And I was just like, okay, I really don't give a shit about what people in the Donald think about me, but okay. And then he's just like, wow, so much for the tolerant left. I was just hanging out in the Donald like a normal, well-adjusted person, and I saw them making fun of you, and I thought I would tell you about it. And then I was just like, And then when you said that you don't care about the opinions of people who are literally making fun of you on the subreddit that's designed for fascists, that I'm intolerant or something. Fasci people get themselves twisted up in all sorts of weird knots. But either way, so I found out that that picture of me, the picture I took here, I'll just go back and show it. That's been making the rounds on the internet, and it makes me pretty happy. I touched a nerve with that one, it seems. All right. How screwed are the NDP for the next election? Well, James, fairly. Jagmeet Singh seems to be kind of like a wet blanket of a leader. I haven't really been too inspired by anything he's done. It'd be really great if Nikki Ashton were to lead the party, but hey, you can't have everything you want, but she will be. She'll be leader someday, and then the NDP will finally become prime minister. We'll get government. We'll finally have an NDP prime minister. But instead, we're going to have to go through all of the other options. The NDP has to keep losing elections until we choose a leader who actually has any kind of backbone whatsoever. Argos Panoptes. Thoughts about Howard Schultz. Will you go to Starbucks if he runs for president? Also, thoughts on raising taxes for the rich in America. Howard Schultz's politics are bad. He has bad opinions. And he... will I go to Starbucks if he runs for president? I will probably go to Starbucks as often as I do now, which is not very often. There's like a Starbucks not even a block from my apartment, and yet I don't go. I don't really care. I'm not really that much into... Like, I like coffee, but I'm not, like, crazy about coffee. And honestly, like, Starbucks is a combination of too expensive and too sugary for me, so I just don't bother. Thoughts on raising taxes for the rich in America? Yeah, I think that any income over, I don't know, let's go with any income over a certain level, which I would actually put pretty low, should be taxed at 100%, and we should have just a maximum wage, IMO. The fact that there are people as rich as Howard Schultz is a disgrace to humanity. When did late capitalism start? I get the impression people have been using the term for like half the time capitalism has existed. It's true. There's sort of this statement in Marxist thought that capitalism is this thing that is inherently self-destructive, and every time it goes through a crisis, like it happened in the 30s, it happened in the 1890s, it happened in the 2000s, the state, like the thing is, capitalism is thought as this thing that is completely completely optimal and works perfectly in every single way. But the thing is, the capitalism keeps collapsing in big and dramatic ways, and it needs the state to use violence and to reappropriate wealth from the working class to hand to the upper class in order to keep it running. The railroad boom in the 19th century only existed because of big, juicy government contracts. Capitalism doesn't function without the state, and it just... Sans the skeleton, you showed up just a little bit too late. We just stopped playing Undertale. Anyways. So late capitalism is really just a term of capitalism in like this death spiral while it's eating itself. And the thing about that, I would say, is... it makes sense. I mean, like, capitalism has collapsed and then gone through crisis and then had to reimagine itself, usually with more state intervention in order to force it to work, in order to force unequal distribution of income. It happened in the 30s with the New Deal state, which was the consensus until things started to get started to collapse, and then we haven't replaced it, and so it's kind of just eating itself again. And I imagine that the situation will be very much like the 30s. If a country has a service economy, does it make sense for the working class population to be anti-immigration since service jobs can't easily be exported? No. I mean, being anti-immigration has so many other things to say, but people who immigrate to a country don't just show up and take jobs away. That's not how economics works. The more people who come, the more things that they, like, people who come to a country need to work and also need things, and they make things, and even on average, immigrants start more businesses than the baseline people. So, like, honestly, immigration needs to be way ramped up and way opened. So if you want to have a more just economic system, you should be able to make the free flow of people as easy as the free flow of money in corporations. So if a corporation can just go to China when they want to make more money, then Chinese people should be able to just come to Canada or the United States to make more money. And you know, then like the race to the bottom sort of disappears. Barring that, though, getting rid of capitalism altogether and implementing a socialist system would be obviously a way better idea. Yeah, it's China. I forgot about how it's China, not China. Because this like reminds me of like this guy that we ended up banning from our Discord who tried to make like the leftist argument for being xenophobic against immigrants, and it was just like that's a weird argument. Thoughts on Sargon joining UKIP? Doesn't surprise me. Isn't UKIP basically like a white nationalist identity Europa type party? Even more so now that Brexit's over. Like, I think some people joined UKIP because they were only a little bit racist and they wanted Brexit to happen. But now that Brexit's happened, it's literally like just for Nazis, isn't it? And I mean, Sargon as a Nazi is like would be just right at home in UKIP. I have no idea what Nigel Farage is doing now. I did not know he had left. I mean, I'd heard that he'd like moved to America, so I guess that makes sense. Andrew Yang. I haven't heard too much about Andrew Yang, except that he's like this tech bro who's trying to get into the Democratic debates via trolling, and is for basically he's pushing for like a pushing for a basic income program, but like it's a very weak basic income program that would very easily just turn into like it would very much just create inflation and landlords would take away it all, so it really wouldn't do much. Thing about basic income is that it's not as simple as the way that Andrew Yang writes about it. I'm not part of the Yang gang. I think it's kind of silly. He seems to be getting the, like, Trump voter who only pushed for Trump because they thought it would be funny. So I love that you don't pull any punches with Sargon. There are so many people on the left who choose to ignore him. I would love to ignore him if I could. I think I've made, like, one reference to him in all of my videos. I don't follow him. I only hear what he's up to through osmosis. I'd prefer to live in a world where I don't have to listen to him. But he just keeps saying dumb shit. And then, I mean, he's getting banned from like every platform he's on. It's only a matter of time before he gets banned from freaking YouTube. He has no Patreon. He has no Patreon, and whatever they try to get to replace Patreon is going to go under. He's got no Twitter. He's just got his YouTube channel, and once they figure out that there's like a Nazi pipeline in the same way that there's a pedophile pipeline on YouTube, they'll start banning fascists. Trust me, I am not the only person who has been talking to YouTube people one-on-one at like different conferences and things like that, telling them that they have to do something about Sargon. And eventually they'll crack and they will ban Sargon. That is my hope. Is it possible to turn a capitalist society into a communist one via a lot of democratic reforms? I listened to an interview with Kim Stanley Robinson and talked about this possibility. Honestly, not sure. The thing about, like, that's like the argument of democratic socialism, right? That through democratic reforms and incremental change, that you'll be able to change the economy from one that serves capitalists to one that serves everyone, when this is a political system that is completely controlled by wealthy people, and their economic interests are diametrically opposed to everybody else's. They are... And so, like, if a group that has outsized influence because money controls politics, like, how do you even make that change? I feel like there's got to be some kind of breaking point. Not necessarily violent, but there's never going to be like, oh, we'll just make things a little bit better and a little bit better and a little bit better, and all of a sudden capitalism doesn't exist. Like, something is going to have to break capitalism. And it's going to be dramatic, because capitalists will fight tooth and nail to hang on to their economic ill-gotten gains. And so I don't see a way that ends without them doing, like, trying to fight back in some way. That happened during the last time that there was a crisis of capitalism and socialism was on the rise in, like, the early 20th century. With, like, you know, them hiring strike breakers and things like that. In this case, it's probably going to be different. You can already see that, like, in an age when there are, like, literal Nazis shooting up, like, synagogues, that members of the capitalist class in America are talking about a woman who points out accurately that AIPAC, a literal organization that does the will of the Israeli state on American politics, in a country where politicians make literal loyalty oaths to the state of Israel, might have some influence over American politics. Like, they call that the most dangerous anti-Semitism. And it's like, it just shows that there's, that this is, like, not about anything except trying to do anything possible to squash this insurgent left movement. They are scared. The fact that the Democratic Party is going so hard on Ilhan Omar, the fact that the Republicans are going so hard on Ilhan Omar and AOC, the fact that even though Bernie Sanders is the most popular candidate who has declared his presidency, that every single major news corporation is running almost non-stop articles trying to tear him down, with, like, literal people doing, like, the dumbest shit, like, when he starts his speech, like, starting a stopwatch and then being like, how come it only took you this long to bring up this issue? And, like, trying to just, like, do anything possible to make something stick, and it's not working anymore. The whole Clintonite, like, let's gaslight people into thinking that somehow you can, that somehow being for economic justice means that you have to be against gender equality and racial equality. That whole smoke screen that's been put up by centrists is starting to go away. And it's being seen for what it is. And I think that if that doesn't work, if Bernie Sanders becomes president, or even the presidential candidate, I don't know what the capitalist class will do next. Will they go to Howard Schultz's third-party run and call people a spoiler for not voting third party? Or will they... I have, like, this dark scratching at the back of my brain, thinking that, like, people like Ezra Klein and like you know, like the centrist well-paid columnists in America will tell people to vote for Donald Trump rather than vote for Bernie Sanders. Like, I see these things happening because that's, like, the idea of socialism so much scarier than fascism. It has scared liberals more than fascism for most of the 20th century. And so yeah, they'll get more desperate and they'll say more ridiculous things, but they're not. I haven't seen. I mean, the police are already way more harsh on Black Lives Matter activists and Antifa activists than like Nazis. It's already becoming a thing, and who knows where that will crack. But something will crack. You won't like. You can't just go from capitalism to socialism with like tiny reforms. It's like turning a vacuum cleaner into a leaf blower. Like, they are designed for diametrically different purposes. Do you watch Doctor Who? And if you do, what do you think about Oxygen, the anti-capitalist episode? Was that... Okay, so I do watch Doctor Who. Was that... Oxygen, was that like the episode that was about not Amazon? Because I thought there was actually... I actually had some... Thought there was something a bit problematic about that episode. If it's about the Amazon episode where they like work in warehouses and stuff like that, there's sort of an angle in that that's like, oh, it's not capitalism that's the problem with Amazon, it's just that they're unethical, and there's an ethical way to do capitalism that won't be bad. And that part I wasn't so great about, but also pointing out that Amazon is cruel and exploitative was pretty great. But I could be also referring to a completely different episode. The one about running out of oxygen, I do not remember that one. Is that from like... I'm scratching my head trying to remember which one that is. How would you prevent the marketplace of idea paradigm from existing in a communist world? That's a good question. I don't know. Probably the fact that we wouldn't have a idea that... We wouldn't have the... People would... I feel like part of becoming left-wing is becoming more... or becoming less conformist and thinking more for yourself. If we had a communist society, I don't imagine that we would be so complacent and so willing to just accept authority. I think that becoming a society like that would involve questioning authority, and that would include just kind of following along with random people's ideas. What about Buttigieg? I don't really know much about that person. I know that's like a person running for president that I don't know much about. The warehouse ending with also said that humanity moved beyond capitalism. The corporation was overthrown 6 months later. Oh, okay. So like the one that I'm thinking of, it's from the most recent season where this guy, like where this corporation is... Like, Amazon turns out to not be bad, but it turns out that some disgruntled employee is going to deliver bombs, and that the anti-Amazon guy was the real bad guy all along. And that's from the most recent season. The one with Jodie Whittaker. But if you're referring to one from... Okay, so you're referring to the last Peter Capaldi season, and if that's the case, then I actually don't remember this episode. It'd probably come back to me if I watched it again, but I remembered I binge-watched most of the last season of Peter Capaldi pretty fast. So, and it wasn't very memorable, let's be honest. All right. What do you think of the left-wing calls to nationalize YouTube and other social networking sites and making a platform for everyone, i.e. because that's what's needed to have meaningful free speech? I'm not against that idea. I think that if YouTube was not a for-profit platform, it would make the site better overall. It would mean that its interests are in making a better communications platform rather than making a better platform for making YouTube money, which would be nice. Be like the soapbox. Wingless monkey's got to go. All right, we'll see you later. Take care. Only bro, how and why did Assadist/Assadism, and why didn't people use the term Ba'athist? Or is it just Americans being politically illiterate? Little bit. I don't think many people remember what the Ba'athist idea is. Like, if you were to be like, okay, well, there's this guy who was named Nasser in Egypt who had this idea of Arab nationalism that turned into like this kind of socialist-y type movement. Like, people don't remember that history anymore. They don't teach that history anymore. Baathism, I think, is more or less just associated with, what's it called? It's more or less just associated with Saddam Hussein and with Assad. And so it isn't really descriptive anymore. So Assadism, I think, makes more sense to the average Joe. Thoughts on Koei's new video on Wilson? I haven't seen it. Anarcho-fledgling, how much longer is this supposed to go? I'm probably just going to wrap up a couple more questions and then I'll go. Do I ask too many questions? Nah, 255. If you didn't ask questions, then first of all, the quality would go down. You keep the questions very highbrow, so it keeps me sounding smarter than I am. Otherwise, I'll be despite how much I love answering whether or not I like Coke or Pepsi, sometimes I need to go on a long rant about why capitalism is bad about 7 times a stream, and without your questions to prompt them, what would I do? Thoughts on Donald Trump's collusion thing? Cohen revealed he had to hide Trump's SAT scores. Oh man, Argos, I'm thinking that has got to really... I don't think that you... I didn't say that you don't ask high-quality questions. It's just that, like, 255 AD, like, thinks up a lot of... Like, he spends his week thinking up clever questions to ask at the stream. So it's a really good, like, thing to keep it brainy. I'm not saying that he's the only person who asks good questions, but at least I know that, like, he's going to be there to ask some stuff to keep the conversation going and keep this fancy and make me sound smarter than I am. I get plenty of awesome questions. Actually, when I did the subscriber appreciation day with Ollie from PhilosophyTube, he even commented after the stream was over about how high quality the questions that my audience gave were. And I think that I really appreciated that. What's your view on the public/private sector paradigm? I find them both extremely intertwined with each other. For example, Amazon power in the military and its weapons and the living brand Trump. Yeah, I mean, the thing is, I think I said this earlier, like, capitalism doesn't really function. The idea of capitalists owning the means of production, like, you don't have a private sector without the public sector using force to keep it going. Like, Amazon wouldn't exist without DARPA's research. And, like, without the police to uphold private property, without the military to constantly go to war to expand, to ensure that corporations can get the resources that they need from the global south in order to maintain their production line, like, without, again, bourgeoisie in very different fashions. I mean, the state is a function of capitalism in many people's lives. All right. I think on that note, though, you guys have been great. I think I'm going to call it a night because my throat's already starting to get... if you went back to streaming in the day when you're totally sober, should copyright be abolished? Yes, definitely. Copyright should definitely be abolished. And yes, I will definitely get back to doing the 1-hour countdown streams on Monday afternoons. I need one more week, and then I'll do one the next week after that, and we'll get back on track. All right, friends, you guys have been great. I hope to see y'all next week. There's going to be probably a premiere for the Buddhism video on Friday, hopefully in the afternoon. So I'll be in that to talk to people in the chat if you want to. But if I don't see you there, then I will see you next Tuesday at the next one of these things, which I've got to think about what I'm going to do. Anyways, namaste. Have a great night, friends.